Next thing we're going to talk about is one of my favorite little conventions inside of programming. It's a switch statement. I just find this so easy to understand, and it's kind of an odd thing. I'm not saying it's like fallen out of favor in the computer science world, but it's just not utilized much. See what you all think about it. It is something that is in the curriculum I got to teach, but I just want you to know I like it. It makes for nice, clean programming. It takes a lot of decision making out of it, and it's just a lot cleaner. I guess I like nice, clean code that I don't have to look at and take forever to figure out what it is. So a switch statement is usually a choice, and um, to do this one, I'm using the basic shell. I'm not even going to go over what that is. All right, I've declared a character and I called it choice. I'm prompting for the user to enter capital A, B, or C, and then I'm inputting that into the program. This int num1, num2 is just for something I'm going to show you in a second. So here's what we've got. We've got a character that we've entered A, B, or C. The switch statement is just named after that variable, so it's going to be called choice. All right. So if case A, if it's case A, everything after the colon is something that is going to happen. So if it's case A, you entered an A, break, and that's it. But I just find that nice and clean. All right. If it's a B, all right, case B, you're going to do everything after the colon. I put in this C out, second C out thing just to show you that you can just keep going. It's not just one line. Anything you put in after this up until the break happens. So case B, you're going to see out, you entered B, and then you see out num1 times num2 in line. So if you enter B, you're going to get you entered B and a 10 on the next line. Then it breaks. When it breaks, it jumps totally out of the switch statement. It doesn't go down and check C or anything like that, right? As a programmer, you're supposed to make sure this A, B, and C works out. Case C, if you entered a C, you entered C and it breaks. What makes this really nice is the default. For default, I'm going to see out you didn't enter correctly. Right. So no matter what you enter in this, it's going to go through this switch statement. It's going to check and see if it's an A. It's going to check if it's a B. It's going to check in a C. And anything else in the world you entered in there, if you didn't enter A, B, and C, is going to hit this default. And it's going to see out you didn't enter correctly. So let's run this. I'll leave it right here. All right. A, you entered an A. B, remember this is the one with the 2 lines of code before the break. So you entered a B and it outputted that 10. All right, finally, I'll just go ahead and show you C. Now it doesn't matter what I type in here as long as anything outside A, B, and C, I'm going to put in a 5. You didn't enter correctly. I'm going to put a lowercase c. You didn't enter correctly. All right, it is case sensitive. This character inside there, it would have had to been a lowercase c like that, and it wasn't. All right, the key points of this is switch, and inside the parentheses, you're going to have the name of the variable. Then it's going to check each case for that variable. It's going to see if it's an A, B, C, or if it's not that, something else, and it's going to do whatever's on this line. Oops, I did forget. you didn't need a break after this default, right? This break just tells it to leave the function, leave the leave the switch statement. Another thing I want to show you: switch statements have matching parentheses, the brackets. All right, curly bracket after int main, curly bracket at the end, and this switch statement has an accompanying curly bracket here and a curly bracket there. The one thing you're going to find, you're going to be nesting really deep into some of these curly brackets sometimes. If you highlight one, it's matching when highlights two. See, the other curly brackets at the top and the bottom aren't highlighted, but I highlighted this one, and this is the matching curly bracket for that. For every left curly bracket, you have to have a right curly bracket. I think by now you all have seen that in your programming. Right. I haven't given this a lot of thought, whether this will work on your program. Matter of fact, I've given it zero thought, but it's something to look at. I'm sure at some point you'll be able to use this. This is a lot more, like I said, a lot cleaner and a lot easier to understand. If you would have made this question char choice, right? You could have made this yes and no. This could have been, you know, this could have been, you could have made this y. Just showing you real quick. And made this y, this no. All right, now you've turned it into a yes or no question. All right, enter yes or no, C in choice. In the case, if you entered yes, it does this, and if no, you did this. So change it real quick. Enter yes or no, I enter yes. Suppose you entered yes. N. And remember, this is the one that did the math on those two ints that I had declared. All right. Definitely take some good notes on this. This is something I'm sure you'll want to use at some point, just because it's so nice and clean and easy to use, easy to understand. It's harder to make mistakes in this. Like I said, most of the program community uses a lot of really uses ifs, if else's, nested ifs, things like that. There's a lot of things you can use this for too.